Well, hello, Stephanie, and welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You are a physician, so I'm not a physician, and we just want to kind of give the listeners just a general idea of what you practice, where you practice, and maybe even how you got started, Stephanie.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, I just opened my first business and clinic in Newport Beach, Resiliency Mind Body Medicine. The vision that I had for opening my own clinic was to really bring high quality, affordable, integrative psychiatry, mental health care to patients. So, in all of my experiences, which includes living in different states, working in hospitals, doing all that whole, dance, working in rehabilitation centers, doing addiction medicine. Um, the the same journey is there for all patients wanting high quality, accessible, integrative care for mental health. I found myself being a provider that was kind of all in one, doing hormone evaluations, vitamin panels, all of these things. Also referring a lot of people out because sometimes medications just aren't quite enough. So I wanted to create my own clinic to be able to offer all of these services. So it's really structured as an integrative mental health clinic that functions on insurance. So, we're in network with most major payers. We have a branch that's telemedicine, so easy, convenient appointments, and then on site. People can see me. We do metabolic evaluations, we do hormone evaluations, and we do transcranial magnetic stimulation therapy, or TMS, which is a somewhat newer technology. Long story short, that's my vision for my clinic. Again, we just opened, but we're trying to get our mission out there and let people know that we do take insurance. We have a variety of holistic ways to talk to people about their mental health, including lifestyle changes and everything, all these pieces that go into it, and we're willing to take the time to actually sit with our patients and guide them through that.
What does the integrative part mean? Like, what are you integrating specifically?
Yeah, so when I say integrative, I'm taking in, and again, this is where I named my clinic, that mind-body connection. So we're really taking into account the whole person. It's not just, we're not just here asking about your depression or your anxiety. We're getting to know you. We want to know, how are you sleeping? What are you eating? Are you working out? Are you getting sunlight? Are you deficient in vitamins? We're checking your hormone levels. We're really trying to get a picture of that whole person instead of just defaulting, to an assumption that medication is going to take it all away or make it better. Medications certainly do, and they can help significantly. But the goal for a lot of people isn't to be on medications their entire lives, right?
Right.
So that's where the integrative piece comes in for me, is to really try to pull together all these elements that's going on in their lives and to help provide a holistic treatment plan that's going to target all of these things so that people actually step into functional recovery and get well.
I always love asking your path. Like, where was your start on that? What was the first thing you did? What were the first things you put together? Who was the first person you reached out to when you decided to not only go this direction, but to take action?
Yeah, lots of great questions in there. So I think I started forming this vision many, many years ago as a 1099. I really liked the flexibility. I didn't like the idea of being owned by a medical system, a corporation, or hospital. So I think that kind of influenced my entrepreneurial spirit initially. Becoming a mom also. I've got a 3-year-old and a just turned 2-year-old.
Hmm.
So again, just kind of being in the trenches, as a physician working mom, it just changes the dynamic. Certainly when you do mental health as well, treating people with mental health symptoms is definitely, can take its toll depending on, your health and your mental health as well. So I quickly realized, I couldn't work as intensely or do the things that I was used to doing now that I had this whole other part of me kind of being captured, by my babies. I got into working into the rehab industry in Orange County and just started kind of learning the ropes from some of the business owners and just really getting into the systems of some of the facilities and kind of leaning in towards my own telemedicine private practice. So I started then learning the nuances of the insurance industry, and I started thinking about doing my own kind of integrative clinic with TMS as I was sending so many people to get that treatment. And then I just started having some providers who I'd worked with when I was a medical director at a different company. They were reaching out, wanting to know what I was up to. They had liked working with me. They wanted to come work with me. And so that all just started giving me, this bigger, grander idea of what if I bring on these providers? What if I start my own clinic?
The real estate piece of this, where did you even start? Did you rent? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, so we are renting. That was this whole other thing, my goodness. When speaking of real estate, not only did I decide to do this venture, just as, the whole market went insane and interest rates spiked, that was this whole new chapter for me. I had no idea that these things existed, right? When you go and buy a house, you do your walkthroughs, you do your negotiations, you do your appraisals, you say, hey, give me $2,000 and replace this carpet, or hey, replace this carpet, whatever, right? Well, in the medical office leasing, you would go in and these leases had been, just expired, and somebody had been in there for like 5 to 10 years, and it looked like, it looked like a haunted house. Like the carpets had stains, the walls had holes. It was just like how this was a sanitary medical building. Like what is this? And then on top of the exorbitant rent that they're asking, then you had to negotiate, your tenant improvement. I came from a very challenging background. I was the first one to kind of launch myself off to college, and certainly the first one to do any sort of graduate school or professional school. And so, that's, again, with starting a family and everything, that's kind of my long-term motivation, is just, breaking that cycle, building the intergenerational wealth to set my family up and hopefully future generations up. And, that's what does contribute to my drive and what inspires me to kind of, like you said, make that next step. Like, where am I going? How can we make this thing bigger? What, have my eye on other ideas. Like, what if, once we build this brand and once we, get successful, can we expand it? Can we open more clinics? Can we launch into a different type of, clinic? Lots of ideas around that. I think really having a solid plan in terms of location, in terms of your referral base and where that's going to come from is going to be very important. Having an idea of what you want your space to look like and how you want it to reflect you and your brand, because that's going to make a huge difference as well into how much space you need and the office space it looks like. I was very particular. I wanted a med spa feel. So it just changes the aesthetics and what you have to pay for. So I would say that's something to keep in mind.